Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. I am Grace. Welcome to our week 4 practice, and we are focusing this week on Udana Vayu, and that is an upward flowing of energy, and that energy is it's a circular energy that circulates around the throat area, in and through and around that, and also the entire head, the brain, the 5 senses. So it's really feeding and energizing prana, filling it with prana, these areas, the throat. And some things that if it's weak could be some lack of coordination or balance, because it's associated with feeding the ears, and this is where our balance center is. Also could be a lack of self-expression, feeling stuck and not able to express your feelings, your words, not feeling safe to, or feeling that being suppressed, which I'm sure we've all experienced at times. So that's when I practice with a focus on Udana Vayu would be very helpful to bring ourselves so we are fully self-expressed. So a healthy one would be a fully self-expression. So we're going to start with a meditation. We're going to ground, and it's going to be just bringing our awareness to this Udana Vayu and noticing, bringing our awareness to a single point of focus of noticing this, even visualizing and noticing this circular energy, feeling the subtle body sensations of this circulating energy around and through, feeding the head, the brain, all the senses, the throat, the Ajna chakra, and the Vidhuda chakra. So finding your comfortable seat for a short meditation, feeling that earth underneath you, and feeling that body 360 degrees, letting it relax into its seat, knowing that it is supported by the earth, safe, doesn't need to do anything at this moment in time. The animal body can rest, the Annamaya kosha can rest. And taking a moment to just notice your breath awareness. All your attention and awareness on your breathing rhythm, noticing where you're breathing, how deep or how shallow, how fast or slow. Are you breathing into your belly, your ribs, or your chest, or all three? Just noticing without changing. And maybe when you notice it shifts and the breath does slow down and begins in that belly, maybe a wave up into the chest. Always bringing the inhale to begin with in the belly as we trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation response. And then if we like, we can come up into the ribs and the chest. And noticing this belly, ribs, and chest breathing for a few breaths. Maybe you have a slight variation, just honoring that. Always beginning in the belly. Beautiful. And as you continue to breathe these nice, deep 3-part yogic breaths, bringing your awareness to this energy circulating in and through and around the throat and the head and the brain and all the senses, spiraling up from the throat to the head. Now that energy spiraling in the throat and the third eye, the whole head in the ground. Noticing that subtle energy, or however that is being experienced by you at this moment. Maybe the lips or the nose or the face is tingling, the throat tingling. You can feel energy moving in the throat and the head. Maybe just spaciousness, honoring whatever is there for you, wherever you're at. Continuing the 3-part yogic breath, bringing it all the way up to the throat, and then exhale. Inhale, bring your attention to the throat. And then on the exhale, feel that energy in the throat moving down to the heart and it expanding. On the inhale, the heart expands even more. Bringing your attention to the energy in the throat. And on the exhale, bringing that energy, the throat chakra, to the down into the anahata, the heart. And have that heart beaming like a sun out in all directions, radiantly. Allowing the heart to be fed as well. And taking a nice deep breath in the belly and beginning to come back. Feel your sits bones. Taking a moment to scan your body. May notice the head and the throat and the heart chakras are a little more radiant, more energy there from this exercise we just did. If not, it's okay. Whatever you're experiencing as you scan, notice what's going on inside, energetically, emotionally. And create an intention for this practice. Always in the present and the positive. So stating it as it is now. I have the career of my dreams. And feel those emotions that you feel with having the career of your dreams, whatever that looks like for you, or whatever it is that you're wanting, the relationship or the spiritual presence, the joy that you want. Maybe it's a thing, maybe it's a car or a home. So whatever it is, what's in your heart that you want to create, give yourself a moment to do that. And little mental rehearsal, seeing yourself there, the people you want to be with, see your joy, the emotions, that your emotional benefit that you're desiring from this, spiritual growth you're desiring. And releasing that intention with the this or better, this or better, this or better, and coming back. All right, that was a nice meditation. Kind of took me out a little, so I got to come back to my senses. We are going to move into a warrior flow. And this is going to be in honoring this Udana energy and the inversions. Inversions support and activate that and that Udana energy of that upward flowing movement and an inversion. So we're going to be doing it pretty simple today. We're going to do a few wide leg forward fold. We're going to go pretty deep into an inversion. We're going to move into the pyramid pose, and that'll be a nice inversion. And we get down on the floor, we'll do half shoulder stand. We're not going to do overflow of inversions. We're just going to weave this theme in, even when we're doing our triangle, involved triangle, into our warrior flow practice that we've done so many times together. And but we're going to integrate this Udana energy. So we're going to be a little longer in some of the forward folds, and we're going to bring our attention. So remembering too, inviting that Udana energy, when we're in holding that pose, feeling that energy in the throat, bringing your awareness to the home of Udana, the throat, and feeling that energy spinning around the head and the throat area. And that helps to activate the flow and open up that self-expression, and keep our balance and our stability in the body solid and very good. So all those benefits. So let's just kind of move around a little. Let's tap that thymus. It's where we learned with the last Vayu Samana that we like to tap this because we can wake that energy up. I think that's all right. And let's shake the body out. Shake the arms, shake the legs. Just shake. Body used to standing. And I love to do a little gentle twisting. Just warming up the body a little bit, warming up the spine. Beautiful job. Maybe inhale those arms up. Maybe turn them upside down and move side to side, opening up side body and laterals. And breathe. And moving over the other side, taking our time, no big rush. Beautiful. And coming back to center. Beautiful. I don't know if this is sweatshirt off. It's starting to get hot. Okay, so let's do one more. Let's do the breath of joy. And that is 3 quick inhales and then a nice long exhale. And with the inhales, the first one, we bring our arms straight parallel to the floor. Second one, we open them nice and wide. Third, we bring them up, bending the knees. Nice exhale. And then we begin. Breath of joy. 2 more times. And ending down in our forward fold. Maybe widening those legs a little bit wider than hip width, bringing the hands down to the earth or down to a block. I'm just gonna my hair up. Let me go this way. And feeling that we're in a forward fold, but we're in a nice deep forward fold. And so you can feel that inversion energy. And bringing your awareness to that Udana Vayu in the throat and the head to breathe. Maybe a slight engagement of the Mula Bandha. Maybe the Jalandhar Bandha. All your awareness to the home of Udana. Throat and the head and the brain. The eyes. Beautiful. One more breath. And your next inhale, beginning to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Feel those lower thoracics, mid thoracics, upper thoracics start to stack. And finally, those cervicals in the neck. Taking a moment to feel the sensation of that Udana Vayu and that upward flowing of energy. Especially that flow from the throat up to the head and the brain, through the crown. Beautiful. Beautiful. And we're going to move into our warrior flow. So a nice wide foundation for the feet. And we're going to just take a moment, just noticing this nice wide foundation for a moment, moving the hips around a little bit, getting used to this. We're going to be in this foundation for a little while through the practice, and we'll be just moving the feet, adjusting the feet a little bit. So maybe you can see my feet. There we go. Definitely want to look at my feet. I could go downstairs. There's a nice area to film downstairs. There's no windows and there's no plants. And it feels kind of like less inviting than here, but this isn't as much space. But that's okay. You can see my feet, my whole body. So we're really good. So I'm not gonna mirror you. I did that for years and now I get confused sometimes when I'm mirroring, and I'd rather just let you know that I'm not gonna mirror you and then guide you incorrectly. So I'm gonna take the right foot and bring it 90 degrees. And forgive me too when I do get my rights and lefts mixed up. That's something that we all do at times. Doesn't mean you can't be a yoga instructor. I mean, you can learn from me. So then we're going to bring that right knee over the right ankle. I'm feeling my right knee's really wanting to go forward, so I need to widen my stance a little bit so that the knee can be comfortably right over the ankle. And I like to line up that knee like at the second toe, second, third, between the second and third toe, something like that. And we're moving, the pelvis is facing each other. It's going to be facing, yours is facing me, mine is facing you. We're not in warrior one. We're moving into warrior two to bring those arms up. Try to keep them both about the same height. And then turn your head to gaze out over the right fingertips. And engage those bandhas and breathe. And allow yourself to touch into the warrior within you, the courageous, brave soul that you are, the strong woman, the strong man, the strong person you are. One more breath. Beautiful. On the next inhale, you're going to raise the right hand, drop the left to the back thigh, the left thigh, reach that right arm up, opening up the heart. In our reverse warrior, I was beautiful. I feel like it's the goddess celebrating the divine, just opening everything up. Engage the bandhas and breathe. And you could straighten that leg or you can keep it right over the ankle, that front leg. One more breath. Beautiful. Nice inhale. And then on the exhale, bending that knee. If it's not, if you straightened it, swooping that right hand to very, very gently rest on that front leg, that right thigh. Very little weight. You may pretend you got a little bit of water in your hands. And then that back arm, there's a few ways to do it, but you can just bring it up. You can also swing it forward. Line of energies from the outer edge of the back foot along the whole side body and out the fingertips. Engage the bandhas and breathe. Looking straight ahead, or you can look at the fingertips. Watch if you start to lean into that thigh. Keep the weight off that front arm. One more breath here. Beautiful. And then on the next inhale, coming up, bringing that hand down. How beautiful is that? And we are going to bring the hands to the floor. You can adjust that back foot to make it a little more 90 degrees or even parallel with the front foot. We're going to relax into our pyramid pose. And this is a nice little relaxation, and it's also a nice inversion. So we're going to take advantage of this time in inversion. Deep belly breaths. And bringing your awareness to that spinning, circulating light and energy and prana that's spinning around the throat, the head, the brain, the five senses. Udana Vayu. Bringing your attention to it and to its home, its circulating energy, activates it, enlivens it, brings prana to it. Opens up your ability to express yourself. Beautiful. And coming up to a half forward fold, inhaling, taking a couple breaths here. We're still in pyramid, just half pyramid. Sorry about the forward fold, half pyramid. Fingertips or on our block or the earth. And then relaxing down again. And bringing your attention to that throat, brain, the head, the circulating, spinning light and prana, aliveness in those areas. Beautiful. And we're going to move into triangle, but we're going to come up first. So bringing the hands to the hips and looking down at the floor, coming all the way up and then straight ahead. Beautiful job. It's going to be spending a little more time in our pyramids, activating that energies. So the legs are straight. Right leg is pointed 90 degrees. Back leg maybe anywhere from 45 to 30. And we're going to keep that leg straight. Little micro bend in the knees. Hinging to the right. Reaching that hand out to the right. And then windmilling. And if you have a block, you can come down to a block or you can come down to the earth. Opening up the heart, looking at the extended fingertips or keeping the head in alignment with the spine. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. Bottom of the exhale, bringing that hand down. And we're going to move back into pyramid again. And bring your awareness to that circulating prana, vitality, life force around the throat and the brain and the head and the five senses. Circulating energy. Beautiful. We're going to move into a revolved triangle. So we're going to have that left hand on either the earth or the block, your block. And we're going to twist away from me, lifting the right arm up. And you can have the head in alignment with the spine or gazing up at the fingertips. Little micro bend in that front leg. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. Next inhale, reaching the fingertips up. And then at the bottom of the exhale, bringing that hand down, moving back into pyramid. Let's move into that half pyramid for a couple breaths, lengthening the spine. Maybe the chin tucked a little to lengthen the back of the neck. And exhaling down into your pyramid. And engaging that visualization again. Feeling and sensing and seeing that energy spiraling the throat up to the brain and head, spiraling in and through and around that throat, entire brain, head. Noticing the sensations. Beautiful. And let's go to a half forward fold, lengthening the spine. And then bringing the hands to the hips, pressing into the foot, the right front foot, and coming all the way back up. And we're already set now for our warrior pose, warrior one. So that back foot can be anywhere from 45 to 30. See if you can line up those heels or the front heels going through the arch of the back foot. Knees right over the ankle. My right front foot is facing 90 degrees towards the shorter end of the mat. If I had a mat, I do so much in nature. I like to just be, let's see, it's my back foot. Okay, beautiful. And so now our foundation is set. We've got some alignment already aligned, and we're going to do our very last set of alignment for this pose right now, and that is to square those hips. So that left leg is back. I'm going to move that left hip forward a little because bringing that left hip back pulled it forward. And now the hips aren't facing each other. They're facing the front. And feel that those hips squared. And once you can feel the hips squared, keeping that knee right over the ankle, and then bringing the arms up into your warrior one. Heart is open. Be that warrior, that peaceful warrior, that warrior of love, whatever inspires you right now. Warrior of inspiration. If you want to lean back a little, bring a little back bend. Find some different variations for the hands and the arms. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. Find that strength within you that is the warrior, that can be the warrior anytime that warrior needs to come forth. And have that self-expression, peaceful warrior self-expression. One more breath here. Beautiful. Move into balance, so releasing the hands down, and let's step that back foot forward a little. And find your, I'm going to move back a little. I probably should go downstairs, huh? That's good. Okay, so we're going to bring all our weight into that right standing foot. Feel the strength of that foot, that leg. Feel it rooted into the earth. Roots going in all different directions, deeper and wider spread. And just a little weight on the toe of the back foot. Just to start to get used to that. And we're going to move into warrior three, a balance. So begin to hinge the hips. Find your drishti, that spot in front of you that's not moving. Back leg comes up, arms forward. You can flex that back foot and breathe. One more breath. end of the next exhale, coming down and facing forward. Beautiful job. Closing your eyes and just noticing the sensations from that concentration and that balance. A little bit of a challenge. Feeling that warrior inside of you that doesn't give up. Can let go of resentments. Can let go of the past. Move creatively. Empowered in the present. Beautiful. Before we go to the other side, we're going to do a little bit of our warrior flow, star goddess, wide leg forward fold that we do right in the middle of it. So we're going to widen the stance. The foundation is a little wider and those toes can be pointing out a little bit. We're going to be moving into our star, 5-pointed star. So this 5-pointed star has 5 lines of energy, and we can keep our concentration on simultaneously. It helps us to focus our energy. It's all coming from the solar plexus, down both legs. So you'll feel the feet pressing into the earth. It's going to come up through the heart, out both arms. So feeling those fingertips and arms stretching out, away from the body, and then the crown. You can almost feel a little lift, might even grow a little bit taller. So let's go into that pose. Inhale, let's exhale the breath wherever you are, letting it go, and then inhaling into that star, bringing the arms up, engaging all 3 bandhas, Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha, the navel comes in and up, and Uddiyana and Jalandhara Bandha, the chin comes in, tongue is on the roof of the mouth. Smala Bandha, all 3. Yeah, all 5 lines of energy simultaneously. Engaging them all. Beautiful job. And we're going to move into our goddess. We're going to adjust our foundation just a little, bringing the heels in and having those toes going out a little bit more. Bending the knees so they're going over the feet. You can bend the arms in that goddess pose, or find your variation of your goddess arms or cactus arms. Find your squat. Maybe you want to be really, really low. Maybe you want to be really high and just a little tiny squat, or maybe something in between. And those hands can be going out towards the world. So the heart energy is going out to the world, or they can be coming into yourself if you need some heart energy. So let that heart energy circulate out from your heart. Feel it in the Udana Vayu, circulating down to the heart, out the hands, and gauge the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. Inhaling, coming up. Beautiful job. Relaxing the arms, the legs, and just closing the eyes, noticing the sensations. Noticing the subtle body, maybe a little more active, vibrant. Maybe notice that Udana energy in the throat and head. Beautiful. Now we're going to go into a little inversion, a nice deep wide leg forward fold. So we're going to bring the legs out nice and wide. They can be pointing forward. One of the things I like to do is to have the outer edge of the feet parallel to the edges of the mat. And then tiny little inward pointing of the toes. that feels really stable for me. So try it out. Give that a try. See how that does. It's good to try different things with stable. So we're going to be moving into wide leg forward fold. We'll be in a little extended inversion. Anytime you need to come out of it, before I say, please do. We'll come down to seated position. We never move into pain. That's always our rule. We always play that edge. That feels so good, edge. So take a break anytime you need. Bringing the hands to the hips, tilting that pelvis forward, slight micro bend in the knees, shoulders are back and down, and begin to hinge at the hips. To a nice wide leg forward fold, coming down to a block or to the earth. Bringing your hands down, and see if you can take those hands and put them nice and slowly, walking them so they're right between the feet. Nice, bringing a little more inversion into the practice. Feel this, right? Let's see, hopefully. And breathing. And bringing your attention to that throat and the brain and the head and that brilliant, dynamic life force energy and the light spinning, circulating through and in and around throat, the head. Ajna. Beautiful. And one more breath here, bringing your focus to that Udana Vayu. In the throat, being the brain. Beautiful. Okay, we'll bring the hands to let's roll up. Nice rolling up. Or you make a choice what feels best for you right now, whether you want to roll up or you want to hinge up. Listening to your body. And we're going to move over to the other side now. So my left foot is 90 degrees, back is anywhere from 45 to 30. The heels are lined up, but I like my heel usually is right between the arch of the back foot. That's what feels the most comfortable for me. That's the most natural. So find what feels most natural for you and your body. Everybody's different. So finding how wide that foundation is going to be by that left knee, having it comfortably stacked right over the left ankle. And so the hips are open. Our hips are facing each other. A warrior, moving into the warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2 pose. Inhaling those arms up and then gazing out over those left fingertips. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. Diving into that inner warrior. Acknowledging the warrior that you are. Just be on this planet, you are a warrior. One more breath. Beautiful. Very bottom of the exhale. Bring right hand to the right thigh. Left front arm is reaching up. Heart is open. Having your heart wide open. Engage those bandhas and breathe. Open to grace, open to love, open to inspiration, self-expression, full self-expression, peaceful communication, open channel to messages from the divine, higher self. One more breath here. Beautiful. And we're going to swoop that front arm to very, very gently rest on that front left thigh. Make that little cup of water and find how you want to rotate that arm up. Right arm up, line of energy from the outer edge of the right foot up alongside the body out the extended right fingertips. It can be straight ahead. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. At the very bottom of the exhale, we're going to bring the hands down to frame that front foot, adjust the back foot, maybe 90 degrees, just for this rest in this pyramid. Bringing the chest down to the thigh. Elbows can bend, just relaxing in your pyramid as you visualize that Udana energy. Powerful, light, and dynamic energy and life force spinning and circulating around the throat area, in and around in the through the throat area and the whole entire head. And breathe. See the throat, the energy in the throat, the concentrated, powerful energy feeding the brain. Beautiful job. And let's bend that front knee a little bit. And we're going to come into a half of pyramids, just tip being on the fingertips on the earth or the blocks. Feeling the spine lengthen, maybe tuck the chin a little to lengthen the back of the neck. Beautiful. And then bringing the hands to the hips and let's just hinge right up. Beautiful job. And just those feet, we're going to move into triangles so they can adjust that back foot. So it's back 45 to 35, 30, whatever feels right for your body. Front toes, the left toes are pointing 90 degrees to the top of the mat and are just a little micro bend in the knees. And then bringing the arms out, hinging towards the left, that left hand hinge out, and then windshield wiper into your triangle. You can use a block or come down to the earth. You can gaze up at the fingertips or look straight ahead in alignment with the spine. You can bring the arm up the leg a little bit. Engage the bandhas and breathe. Inhaling, reaching into the fingertips. Exhaling. Very bottom of the exhale, bringing that hand down. And moving back into your pyramid, adjusting that back foot again, that foundation, and relaxing in your pyramid for a few breaths as you bring your focus to Udana Vayu. All that circulating energy and life force in the throat and the head. Noticing the sensations in those areas, seeing the dynamic life force spinning the throat and the head. Beautiful job. And we're going to move into revolve triangle. We're going to take that right hand and have it just to the right of the front foot. Find it whether it's on a block or on the earth, spreading those fingertips a little for a nice solid foundation. And we're going to be revolving, twisting away from me as you lift that left arm up in revolved triangle. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. And then the bottom of your exhale. Let's exhale, bringing the hands down, that left hand down, framing that front foot, and then relaxing into your pyramid. Bringing your attention to that throat and brain area and the energy and prana and the life force circulating. Noticing the subtle sensations. For one more breath here. Beautiful. We're going to bend that front knee a little bit. Up to half pyramid on your fingertips. Feel that spine lengthen, maybe gentle tuck of the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. Beautiful. And then pressing into that left foot, hands on the hips, pressing up, coming up. And we're all set. We're in our warrior one pose, but if you need to make any adjustments to your foundation, front left foot is pointing 90 degrees. Front heel's going through the arch of the back foot or aligned with the other heel. And my foot is probably more like 35 degrees. And then my right leg is back, so now we need to square those hips. Left knee's right over the ankle, left toes lined with that second or third. Left knee is aligned with second or third toe. And squaring those hips. So the right hip is going to come forward, the left back a little bit. And when you feel those hips are nice and square, then bring those arms up. Find your expression of your arms. What feels good, you can move into a little back bend if you like, and extended warrior, and bask in that energy within you that is a warrior. It came to this planet as someone coming with a mission to conquer something, have a passion, have a purpose. And breathe. Bandhas engaged. Nice breath. Beautiful. And at the very bottom of the exhale, allowing the hands to come down. And we're going to take that back leg and step it forward just a little bit as we prepare for our warrior three on this side. So first thing we're going to do is bring all the weight and all the energy and the life force into this left standing leg. Our attention is there. Little bit here to toes on the earth to stabilize, but the weight is in this left standing leg. And imagining that left leg a tree trunk, those roots going deep down into the earth and spreading out, keeping you solid. Remember, if you ever do fall out, you just can move it back into the pose. No worries. We all do. So we don't make it mean anything. We just move back in. We keep practicing and get better and better. Practice makes progress. I love. So freeing. Beautiful. So all the weight on that left standing leg. And beginning as we move into warrior three to hinge the hips forward. The back leg comes up, front leg, arms come forward. Sing. Move back a little bit. So, and 3 deep breaths. Flexing the back foot. Finding a drishti. Bottom of the next exhale, coming down. Beautiful job. And taking a moment now to bring the hands in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. Diving into your inner being, noticing what's going on inside. Feeding that soul, attention, love. Beautiful. We're going to move into standing yoga mudra, honoring the heart, honoring ourselves, honoring this practice, because we're just got a couple more poses to do in Savasana. So I'm really proud of you. This is beautiful activating of this Udana Vayu, this upward flowing of energy, activating the self-expression, balance, bringing the hands behind, clasping the hands, and bringing them down a little bit as you open up the shoulders. It feels so good. Just open up the shoulders, opening up the heart. We're going to be honoring the heart. We're going to, as we hinge forward, we're going to be, the heart is going to be the highest organ in the body. Right now, the brain is. So as you inhale, extending the spine, exhaling, hinging at the hips, just the hips, let the spine be stable. Arms are coming up. And when you find you're at your bottom of your hinge of your hips, allowing the spinal column to round into a beautiful forward fold. Standing yoga mudra and taking this moment to honor your heart. And let your self-expression be moved and inspired by your heart. Beautiful. And on your next exhale, releasing the hands, bringing them down to the earth. And we're going to come all the way down onto our backs. Nice and slowly and carefully. Beautiful. And taking a couple breaths just here on our back. You can bring the feet a little wide, let the knees come together and noticing the sensation, feeling that udana and that upward flow of energy. All those extended, longer inversions. And that energy spinning in the throat and the head, moving up and out through the crown. Now simultaneously see that energy in the throat, moving down to the heart. And the heart becoming a sun, just shining all that light out to all the world, all directions. Simultaneously pouring out through the crown in all directions, the sun and the heart. All of it coming forth from the throat. Good. Beautiful. And then let's bring those knees in towards the chest. Maybe a little rocking back and forth a little bit. And then bring those legs up. This little inversion and flexing and extending the toes. Noticing the sensations. Beautiful. Just before we go into our shoulder stand, bringing those arms down to the floor. And you can decide whether you want to stay in this pose or come up to shoulder stand. But moving those legs just gently side to side. And bringing those hips up. Bringing the hands right up. Holding them up. And having the feet so that they're right up above your eyes. And breathe. One more breath here. If you'd like to hinge over into a plow, you can do that now. If you'd like to just come out or hold it a little bit longer, you can do that. I like to keep the legs parallel to the earth to protect this lower back. And breathe. Feeling the throat, the energy of the throat. Maybe adjusting the chin. One more breath here. And bending the knees. And hands to the earth and gently coming down. Rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful job. And bringing those legs out. And taking a breath here. Feeling that upward flow of energy, that activation of the throat, Udana Vayu. Circulating energy in the throat and the head. Vidudi. Beautiful job. And let's bring the knees into the chest. Rock back and forth a little bit. Just do a few little releases before we move into Savasana. Supta Baddha Konasana, supine butterfly, rocking back and forth a little. Bringing those feet in towards the body. Feeling that great sensations and opening in the hips. Engage the bandhas and breathe. Good job. Bring those feet out wide. Hands wrapped around the wide edges of the feet. And moving into baby first before we move into happy baby. Just bringing those knees down towards the earth. Finding that gentle edge. And breathe. Putting the hips a little deeper even. And beginning to move into your happy baby. Stretching the legs, moving the legs. in any way that feels good for you. Or any last pose you want to make that you wanted to do. The body kind of craved. Give yourself time to do that now. And finding your way into your savasana. Relaxing all the muscles. Getting in a nice comfortable position. Maybe a blanket. Or a eye pillow. Sweatshirt. And feeling all those muscles releasing any tension that's holding in your body. As you invite the muscles to release all the tension, just feel yourself become heavier and the whole body sink a little deeper into the earth below you. Inviting all aspects of the physical body to relax, the bones, the skeletal system, the digestive system, reproductive system, the endocrine system, all the muscles, the circulatory system, and the heart, organ of the skin, the nervous system, the brain, relaxing, calming, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Allowing all aspects of your being to simply relax as we absorb and integrate and receive all the prana and life force and wisdom from this practice and this Udana energy. Rest in silence and I will bring you back. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly. Signaling your body, come back. And if you like to stay and remain in Savasana, that's okay too. You're going to come out, beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes, bringing back to the body. Feel the earth underneath you, stretching out the arms and the legs. Feeling your attention, moving back into this beautiful body, sacred embodiment, this body temple. Moving over to one side or the other. Feeling the fluids, the energy, organs all shifting. Taking a couple breaths, being with yourself. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, coming up to a seated position. And taking this moment to scan the body and check in. Noticing the sensations, the inner aliveness, moving into pratyahara, sense withdrawal, and bringing all that attention inward. And bring yourself back to that intention that you set at the beginning of practice. Practicing that little bit of mental rehearsal, feeling, seeing vividly yourself in that manifestation. All the emotions deeply as you can feel them. Release that with the this or better, this or better, this or better. And we conclude our practice with Namaste prayer. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, light, truth, and peace. And when you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining our practice today. Ecstatic Yoga. You can go to ecstaticyoga.com or oneworldstudio.com under the studio to find out more about our yoga teacher trainings and retreats. I'm Grace, wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.